Good evening and welcome to SuperScreen News at 6. I am Olamide Onga. Less than 24 hours after the official launch of a 5-year roadmap for peace strategy in Plateau State by President Muhammad Buhari, gunmen has reportedly killed 5 persons in the state. The attack occurred in Zaravu community of Basa local government area of the state on Thursday night. The youth leader in the community, Danjuma Ota, who disclosed this to journalists, said the victims were mostly children and a woman. The attack, which occurred while the president is in the state, further shows the poor security situation in the state. The police had earlier said they were deploying over 2,000 officers to Plateau State for the president's visit. The president of Wushishi community in the Wushishi local government area of Niger State has raised the alarm that officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, are demanding payment of 200 naira from the community members to be captured in the permanent voters card registration. Report says the officials explained that the money was to buy fuel to power the generator being used for the exercise. One of the residents, Muhammad Gambo, told journalists that he paid for 4 people from his community so that they would not be disenfranchised. And to other stories now, the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, has called on the Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, to find a lasting solution to the incessant attacks on farmers by the Fulani herdsmen in the state. The association also urged the governor to emulate the Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, by organizing a security summit which should involve all the leaders of the Miyetti Allah in the state and the country at large, farmers, representatives of the government, security agencies, and all the stakeholders. The group made the call at a meeting held at the residence of the leader of the association, Ruben Fashonoti, in the Akure, Ondo State capital. The Secretary General of the association, Shende Arogbofa, who read the communique issued at the end of the meeting, said there is a need for Akeredolu to call all the concerned groups for a peace talk to design lasting solutions to the crisis. Moving forward, Senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye, says the Senate is forced to veto the decision of President Muhammad Buhari to decline assent to the Peace Corps bill. Melaye, who disclosed this during Wednesday's plenary session, said the employment potentials of the Peace Corps in Nigeria is what prompts his passionate approach on the matter. Melaye said in the face of staggering levels of youth unemployment, the APC-led government has failed to have any meaningful youth-friendly program geared towards youth empowerment. You will recall that since President Buhari declined assent to the bill, there has been strong indications of the Senate overriding the decision, and Melaye's motion seems to have given the further credence to such talks.
Mr. President, $5.5 billion was borrowed from Eurobond. Not part of it will the youth of this country benefit from. $1 billion is to be spent now on security. How does that affect the youth of this country? The Senate will revisit this matter. We may need to write Mr. President to review his position. If not, we have the power on behalf of the Nigerian youth. We have the power on behalf of those who have voted us to veto Mr. President so that the people will become the ultimate beneficiary of this. The youth of this country must be given priority. They must be respected.
And so other stories now, the House of Representatives has asked President Muhammad Buhari to direct security agencies to immediately begin the enforcement of the open grazing prohibition law in Benue State to halt the killings by the herdsmen. The House passed a resolution in Abuja as lawmakers again condemned the latest attacks on villages in the Okpoko local government area of the state, where 26 more lives were lost. The session, which was presided over by the Speaker, Yakubu Dagara, said the government must recognize the fact that as a state, Benue is covered by the 1999 Constitution to make laws for the good governance of its existence. And now the House of Representatives has resolved to investigate allegations of underage voting and issuance of permanent voters card by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. This is sequel to a motion moved by Honorable Jumbu Shekarau, who expressed concerns about reports from the media which indicated that there were incidences of underage voters and issuance of voters card in the recently concluded local government elections in Kano State.
The House of Representatives says it will investigate allegations of underage voting in Kano State in the recently conducted local government elections. These developments followed a motion moved by a member of the House, Jumbu Shekarau, who drew attention to recent pictures in the media showing cases of underage voting. Shekarau alleged the underage voters were registered because the lives of the registration officers were threatened, adding that the incident created a huge embarrassment to the nation.
The reports from SuperScreen and electronic media which indicate that there are incidents of underage voters who presented themselves at polling units with permanent voters card to vote in the recently conducted local government elections in Kano and indeed, Mr. Speaker, in most states of this country. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, consider of the incidents, if left unchecked, will have adverse effect on the peaceful conduct, credibility of future elections, and legitimacy of elected leaders. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this has called to law that we mandate the Committee on Electoral and Political Matters to investigate the incident of registration and issuance of permanent voters cards to underage voters by INEC across the country and report back within 5 weeks.
Reacting on the motion, Uzoma Ikem Abonsa stressed the need to conduct an investigation into the matter and asked the House to make a formal request of the voters registered in the state.
Our problem in this country is closing over very serious and important issues. These issues go beyond credibility and legitimacy of the election that have been conducted and that will also be conducted. It also touches on the security of lives and property of citizens of this country. As we've been informed, we are aware what happened in Kano in 2015 during the 2015 election, where the resident electoral commissioner and his entire family were burnt down. And I don't have any information about investigation and report on that incident.
No one is sure whether the allegation is true or not. Yes, because I know quite well that no sane INEC officers will sit to register any underage person. So I will support the motion since it is investigative that they should go ahead and investigate.
However, the House mandated its Committee on Electoral and Political Party Matters to investigate the incidents and report back within 5 weeks for further legislative actions.
President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election bid has been greeted with mixed reactions. A cross-section of Nigerians who spoke to SuperScreen, including secondary school teachers and students, frowned at the president's re-election bid, advising him not to contest the 2019 elections.
As the general elections draws nearer, politicians have been gearing up and making their intentions known on their next political ambitions. While there are informations that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar will be vying for Nigeria's president, Kwakwanso is also reported as making moves to vie for Nigerian president. But the most shocking to Nigerians is the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari.
The president is free to recontest, but I for one does not believe he deserves to be re-elected. Based on appointments, based on the people he's working with, a whole lot. Look at, he campaigned on 3 cardinal promises: security, economy, and corruption. And on these three scorecards, it didn't score an A on any of them. Insecurity killings are happening everywhere. Anti-corruption, it's, for God's sake, it's just a whole lot of drama going on there. And economy, we see what we're all experiencing.
The whole of this country voted for President Buhari because they felt the time of change has come, hope has finally come to Nigeria. But for some reason that we don't know, that has not been explained to us, they've not been able to perform in some very, very important areas.
So, sir, if President Buhari is contesting in 2019, are you going to vote for him?
Well, I can't say I will vote for him, and I cannot say I will not vote for him. If I am not going to vote for the sitting president to come back again in 2019, what will be my reasons? And my reasons will be, and why should I vote for a government that has not done well in areas that has affected me?
He doesn't deserve to be president of Nigeria. Why? Because when he was elected, he promised us free breakfast for children in government school. We didn't get that. He promised us a lot of things, but he failed with his promise.
In his manifesto before he was elected as the president of Nigeria in 2015, he said that he's going to do this, do that as per the political party which he came under them. But fortunately, the first term of his tenure, he couldn't achieve anything. Maybe it's the people behind him, or his cabinet, or his member of the house, they couldn't help him, or he's not capable of it particularly. We don't know. But probably the second time, we don't know, since the first time doesn't have an edge. Second time, we don't know what could happen in the second. Maybe the country might be worse than this first time.
I don't want him to go again because he's old.
Who then should be the right person to pilot the affairs of Nigeria in 2019?
A young and responsible person, not only a young but responsible, and someone that can take care of Nigeria.
I'm happy that young, vibrant Nigerians are now coming out to say, I want to vie for presidency. That's good. That's a good sign that Nigeria is beginning to go in the right direction.
We have good people that can run this country, in this country. There are many of them. We don't have to rely on the old brigade.
I think I vote for him because there is no other option as a presidential candidate.
The perception of non-Africans is that African leaders are power drunk. They hold on to power until pressure is mounted on them. They do not vacate the seats of power. Though in Nigeria, the situation has been fair. After all, former President Goodluck Jonathan relinquished power voluntarily, just as his predecessor. It remains to be seen whether President Buhari will succeed with his second-term ambition.
And to other news now, Nigerian women has joined other women in the world to mark the 2018 Women's International Day. In Lagos, different women groups converged at Agindingbi, Ikeja, to celebrate the day.
The history of International Women's Day dates back to 1910 during an international conference of working women in Copenhagen. There, the leader of the Women's Office for the Social Democratic Party in Germany, Clara Zetkin, proposed that women should be celebrated yearly in every country, and her proposal was unanimously approved. As a result, the first National Women's Day was marked on February 28, 1909 in the United States of America. In Nigeria, these women converged on Lagos to address issues affecting women at this Women of Essence Foundation program.
In all the relationships I had, one of the nicknames that I got, and this is a very common nickname for me, it never occurred to me that there must be something wrong. My nickname then was Hazman. And the guys that was in relation, that was what they used to call me, Hazman. And I thought, I was like, oh yeah. No man can touch you. No man can, you know. And then I met my husband. He was different, and I think that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with him. He didn't have time for my nonsense. As much as we love our parents, they have their good and the bad. My mom is a wonderful woman, but I could see that I was acting out her negatives, and I was bringing it into my own home. I was turning my husband to my dad without realizing it.
It's a day that I'm always looking forward to. not for the celebration alone, but for an opportunity to lend a voice to worthy causes relating to women. As you know, women are really special species, as it were. We are special in all ramifications.
We are celebrating our strengths. Despite being considered the weaker vessel, we are actually very, very strong. We are celebrating, resourcefulness. We are celebrating ability to manage several things at the same time. We are multitaskers, and so on.
It's a wonderful day because without women, our society is useless. It's a general saying that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So society cannot do well without women. So I think it's a great day for us.
We are like last born of God's creation. Yeah, we are like last born. So as a result, you know the way woman's supposed to pamper the last child of the family. That's how we are supposed to be pampered. In every home in the society, we are not supposed to be put behind.
We don't have any social welfare. We don't have any government helping the single mother, the pregnant teenager. There's so many needs around us.
The 2018 International Women's Day theme is Ash Press for Progress. These women lent their voice on the theme, advising other women.
I want to tell the women out there to truly press for progress. Forget the little things, forget the fights all around you. The only thing you need to fight for is to fight for your destiny. Fight if you understand and know what exactly it is that is your purpose in life. Fight for that and make sure that you fulfill that which God has called you to do.
We're pressing for progress, and we're saying that we're taking a stand against all form of abuse to the woman and to the girl child. Really and truly, for me, that's a major issue. Nobody should be abused. And if you are being abused, please speak out.
God did not just create us to just come and be part of creation. No, just created every woman for a purpose. And I want to chip in that every woman should try and locate the reason why you are on earth, the purpose, and should run with the purpose.
You need to believe in yourself, in what is inside of you. Well, physically, they might say that your strength is not so much, but you have a stronger strength.
It is a known fact that women are making positive gains. More reason the place and role of a woman cannot be overemphasized. Most women, you will agree, are mothers. They bear all pains and give birth. They also nurture, train, and equally show care, love. Above all, they sacrifice their all. Indeed, women should be celebrated. Adin Kyowe Yajiboy, SuperScreen News.
And to other news now, Benue State Coordinator of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAB, has assured candidates writing the Unified Tertiary Examinations in the state of a hitch-free examination. Ofala, who disclosed this in Makurdi, said JAM staff involved in the examination, as well as security personnel detailed to monitor the exercise, had been assigned to the centers. He said the computer-based test would be conducted in 12 centers spread across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. The coordinator said 2 security personnel had been assigned to each center and assured that the backup coverage would accommodate any computer challenge during the examination. You're still watching SuperScreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some news from the business world. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has warned contractors handling various ongoing federal road projects across the country against including and indulging in substandard work to avoid having their contract revoked. The minister issued the warning when he inspected the Kaduna Eastern Bypass Road project in Chikun local government area of the state being constructed by the federal government. Fashola said the Ministry of Work is tired of entertaining contractors who promise to offer high-quality services but end up building substandard structures. He also reassured that President Muhammadu Buhari's administration is committed to improving infrastructure across the country. Now, the establishment of a new regulatory agency, the Nigerian Petroleum Regulation Commission, NPRC, as captured in the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, will not lead to the mass retrenchment of workers in 3 agencies that are currently under the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. This is according to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, fears of a possible mass sacking when the 3 affected agencies are collapsed into one entity. Now, in the bill, the NPRC will take over the functions of the Petroleum Inspectorate, the Department of Petroleum Resources, and the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency. The PIGB has been passed by the National Assembly and will become a law as soon as it is assented by the President. Still in the business world, the Plateau chapter of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN, has lauded the state government for producing tractor ownership scheme for the farmers. AFAN Plateau chairman Philip Azi, who disclosed this to journalists, said the initiative would boost the agricultural activities in the state as farmers would cultivate their farm with ease. He also said with the coming of the tractors, such anomalies will be naturally addressed. The distribution of farming inputs to rice farmers by the federal government has commenced in Guadababa local government area of Sokoto State. According to reports, the distribution commenced on March 8 with identification and screening of the farmers. Other inputs included 2 liters of herbicide, liquid fertilizer, and 25 kilograms of rice seed. The chairman, Sokoto State Chapter of Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Ibrahim Salihu, called on the federal government to open an additional collection center to cover all the 23 local government areas in the state. Salihu said the input suppliers and service providers were also involved in educating the farmers on right quality and quantity of inputs to be applied on their farms. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take some foreign news and some sports stories. Do stay with us.